Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a cute pair of earrings using the little Tierracast gingerbread houses that I painted and some of these little gingerbread men from out of the bead mix. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to make these earrings and we're going to use the gingerbread house at the bottom, then one of these little brown crystals. Then we're going to take one of these darker browns with this bead cap on top of it, like so. We're going to use some spacers in here, this bigger spacer. Put our little gingerbread man on top of that with another spacer and our little blue bead. Then we're going to hook it to one of our earring posts. Aren't these ones cute? And I've got some different backers. I have never been a real fan of these tiny ones. So I'm going to pull that one off and it'll go on to this style. So that will be there. I've also got two pieces of a German style 20 gauge wire. And we're going to use this to string it on. I'm not sure how long these are. I didn't measure them when I cut them. Looks like they're about 4.5. I just cut what I thought would be pretty good. So get it as straight as you can. I usually just use my thumb and my forefinger to straighten them. Then we're going to take and we're going to make a loop on one end by giving it a 90-degree turn, getting our stepped bell making pliers, put them in there over and around and down, bring them over, and this is a little crooked so I had to straighten it there. Bring it over and around, straighten it up so it's a lollipop shape, and I did not leave a gap, which I needed to do, so we'll just twist this open a little bit like you would if it was a jump ring, and then we'll feed our little house on. Once it snaps into place, come on baby, go in. There we go. We take our pliers, we'll push these two wires back together since they pulled apart when we had to put the gingerbread house in there. And it looks like it rolled up that way a bit, so we want to bring her back down some. Then we'll hold it where they come together, and we will, I always switch hands because I like my other hand. So then we're going to wrap this a couple of times down here. Oh, come on, baby. So we'll bring this over and into here. Now, if you need to use your pliers as a push rather than a pull, that is highly acceptable. I do it all the time because sometimes when your wire gets a little short, it doesn't want to pull. So when that happens, I use my pliers and push the wire around rather than pull it. Now this is a little crooked, so I just straightened it up. And now we're going to feed on our beads. So, whoop. Now we want so far, so good. Now, if you felt that this was going to be too long, you could stop right there, or you could have stopped where the So there is how long our earring is going to be. And now we're going to hook it to our ear wire here. And I'm going to hook it directly to the ear wire. And since I need it to go through the hole, see the hole is here, we need to go straight, just like we did with our house here. So we want to go 90 degrees. Get our bell making pliers. Tuck it into there, go over and around and down. Bring her all the way over, leaving a gap here. Come out. Actually, it needs to be lollipopped a little bit. It needs to go back some. There we go. Now, because you want... Well, this is two-sided, so you don't have a specific front and back at the top for right now, so it doesn't matter. But I always feed my ear wire in backwards to the way I want it to end up. Now, if it was one-sided, it wouldn't be an issue at all because, well, obviously, come on, you. I need to take the back off. It's getting in the way. You, if it's not two-sided, it doesn't, if it doesn't, excuse me, if it doesn't have a definite front and back, you can feed this any way you want. If it does have a definite front and back, you want to feed it backwards because the ear wire, as it comes around the circle, if it ever does here, there it goes, it turns itself as you come around. So what was the back is now the front. So now, since we've got that in there, hold our two wires together. Now, I always flip my hand because, well, I'm right hand dominant, so I prefer to be wrapping with my right hand. So then take our wire and wrap. I think that's probably about where I want to cut it. I try to cut my wires in the back so that they're not the tuck isn't in the front. And there is our finished little guy. So it looks like we need to do some straightening. This one looks a touch to this side. Okay. This one, well, it may not be too bad. There we go. That one is done. We'll put our ring back on. So there we go. There's one. Now we'll start on our second one. So again, we want to do our wire at 90 degrees. Put your bell making pliers in over the smallest, come over and around, bring her down, bring her over, leaving a gap here. And then see if you're lollipopped. If you're not, straighten it till it is. So there we go. Now we'll put our little gingerbread house on. For some reason, Rory is acting a little distressed. He's not. He just is getting pissy about something. So anyway, so we've got our house in. Now that we've got our house in, take and slide it upwards as you grab its hook. So hopefully the house is not creating problems. So now that we've got that together, we'll take our other pair of pliers, and it looks like we have 2 wraps on it on the other ones, so we want to do the same here. 1 and 2. So then we'll cut this extra remaining bit off. and trim that. Well, I should say tuck it. Okay, now that we've got that done, let's see how crooked we are, if we need to straighten up some. I think we're pretty good. So now we do exactly the same on this one with our little brown, the bead cap, the big hefty fellow that goes inside the bead cap, our little daisy spacer. Well, actually I think this one is called a double star or something like that. Our little gingerbread man, the little rope spacer, and the little blue one. And then of course we want it to bend this direction the same way as our house's little thing is. So over and around, get our bell making pliers. In they go, over and around. Bring them down, leave a gap. Make sure they're lollipopped. That one's pretty good. So now I'm going to take this type of thing I don't like out of here. I want this to be the front because, no, actually I want it to be the back. I want this to be the front because the gingerbread house leans a little bit, it looks like. So we want it to be leaning the opposite direction. So we want this to be the front. So we will feed this on backwards, up and over, and through the loop. And let's see if I've got it the way I wanted. Yes, I do. See, it's now facing like this. So now we take hold of the loop where they come together here, push them down, because remember we've had them gapped. So you have to push them down a little bit. And then we wrap this baby up. Should need 3 wraps, I believe, because I think the other one was 3 wraps. And there is our 3rd wrap right there. So we cut this guy off right here. Tuck it in. Turn our little gingerbread man so he's facing the front. And we can put our back on. And this one is finished. So there is our little gingerbread man and house earrings. Aren't those cute? And there we go. There is our little gingerbread man and house earring. There's number 2. Aren't those cute? I really love these little gingerbread men. I think they're so adorable. So there we go. There is our gingerbread man house and himself, gingerbread man and the gingerbread and his gingerbread house. And there they are. And these are made from, as I said, the SoftFlex Design Company's Design Challenge Kit Gingerbread. I think they're adorable. I hope you enjoyed making those with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.